Hello, fellow Factorians, and welcome back to my Pyanodons challenge run. Took a little bit of a break after getting to logistics science last episode to recharge the old batteries and play with some blueprints in my test lab, which I personally find very entertaining. But yeah, we got logistics going pretty well. Not great. There are some issues to work out, but I did make a lot of logistics science in the roughly 90 minutes of hands-off period I ran through, because yeah, we had a failure. During the hands-off period, well, my second hands-off period, during the first one, I had a little bit of a recording issue. So during this one, you'll see at the start that I throw out a whole bunch of blueprints onto the map that look suspiciously like they fit exactly with the existing stuff, and that's because I just copied what I'd done during the prior hands-off period. And then with the extra time, quote unquote, I just built out more onto my train network because I knew what was coming up. Factorio is very deterministic if you don't poke the bear, and I did a very little poking of the bear during the hands-off period. So I knew a failure was coming up. Yep. I'm not surprised that we've gotten a failure right after switching over to logistics science. Although I'm a little bit disappointed in where the failure is. It's not in logistics science itself. As I said, I give myself a little leeway with one episode to get things working well. It's with a little bit of a ticking time bomb that I'd left myself a couple hundred episodes ago. And I'll show you that when we go into hands-on mode. Today is going to be a lot of base maintenance, a lot of running around. But I do have at least one build that I'm sure I'll get to, and a lot of little bits and bobs and details like usual. So let's get into it. So I've had a failure. The failure happens because I'm not making enough petri dishes because I don't have enough hot air. I don't have enough hot air because I'm not producing enough coke oven gas to feed the hot air production. And I'm not producing enough coke oven gas because this steam line is jammed up in this block of coke oven gas production, which wraps back around to these valves, which need to be adjusted to better void the steam. So I'm going to take care of that right at the top of the episode, but there is a lot to do. Unfortunately, the first thing I have to do is take away my almost 3-day streak of no failures. So we'll reset that. I also will, before I jump into hands-on mode, adjust these rates. I need to set a new target for logistics science, and 2000 looks high, but I'm actually going to be setting this to a 10-minute window to record because logistics science gets produced slowly enough that there's enough variance that I won't be able to maintain a reasonable target even when it's working properly. So yeah, let's adjust the production combinator to 10 minutes. Hopefully that will, once I get everything working right, I'll be able to go through with no failures. Also, I need to reset the timer. Yep, back to 0. And now we can go into hands-on mode and fix those valves. Should be a quick fix. And there we go. Now this will be working again. Oops, not the right spot. This will be working. Yeah, as soon as those valves are fixed, this starts voiding, and it should be going again. Okay, yeah, the valves are running. They just need to catch up. No, this is just running as fast as possible. It'll catch up. All right, next order of business. I need to fix some aspects of solidified Sarcoris, and I'm going to grab a whole bunch of materials. hopefully remembering everything that I need to get, because yeah, I'm going to be making a big loop around the base, fixing things, and it'd be ideal if I could do that without having to run back to my mall several times. One of the things I'm going to be fixing, and I should plan ahead for, is I want to get rid of this janky extra hydrocarbon fuel production that I added during the end of the last episode, because, yeah, I don't want this thing anymore. I'm going to replace it with just one electric boiler and save myself a caravan. In fact, saving caravans is one of the things that I'm going to be prioritizing during this episode. Not for any good reason other than role-playing. I've got a lot of caravans that are doing a lot of good work for me, but eventually they're going to get retired as the train base takes over. So I'm going to stop producing them and recycle the ones that I've got in the rest of the base and see how that works out. Hopefully I'll be able to grab enough to fulfill the last of the needs I've got to get logistics working better. Okay, I think I've grabbed everything, and then the first thing I need to fix is right next door. I'm not sending enough wood up to my solidified Sarcoris / battery area. So I'm going to need to add another wood processing unit here and slightly adjust. Yeah, let's remove that caravan outpost. Okay, that should get solidified Sarcoris running better, a little bit better, but I do need one more fix in here. Also to make sure the wood stays on the correct lane, so let's put that in. The fix I need to do is right here where these plasmids, because the rate of plasmid production is exactly one inserter is worth, this caravan outpost steals all the plasmids when there are plasmids that it needs. So the solidified Sarcoris production shuts down, and I need to fix that so that it doesn't happen. So the incubators here will get first dibs instead. Next item. There's a coal miner up north that I have to replace because it helps make tar, and I don't want to run short on tar. I'm also going to be grabbing miners that have failed as I run past them, and I probably will not be stepping out of accelerated time every time I do that, so just assume if I've made a detour, it's for something trivial like cleaning up miners. Okay, this is running a lot better. That's fantastic. So hopefully solidified Sarcoris will catch up, and that's the major problem that I had with logistics. Next, I want to send some additional copper over to the small parts that are being produced by molten metals. So I'm going to reverse a belt here, and yeah, that's all. Told you I'll be running all over the base to do things. In fact, I've got kind of an itinerary where I'll try and hit things in a big loop rather than make a bunch of stopovers at random places. So we'll save running time, although I really wish I could run faster. Even with refined concrete, it's starting to feel like I'm pretty slow. All right, and that should hook my copper back into the copper lane for this area over here. Next item is right next door. Like I said, I've got an itinerary in mind. The benefits of taking a little break. You get to study exactly what you're planning to do. What I'm planning to do is add more storage for logistics science and Pi 1 science, because I'll be running Pi 1 faster than the automation science can keep up with, although it should burn up this buffer that I had and increased while my Pi 1 wasn't working that well. And I'll also be running a lot of logistics science, and I won't be able to use it up for, I don't know, like 20 hours or so, because I have a bunch of researchers that I either need or just feel like getting. And but I think one of the first things I'll be building on the train network is increased automation science. after I build, of course, the infrastructure to do it. So I'll be able to burn out the science that I produce here, and it's not going to be sitting around forever or waiting, or at least that's the hope. I mean, I have already burned out a lot of the zinc that I stored up, maybe half of it. Okay, that should fix that. Next item. I was missing a couple undergrounds here, so I'm going to fix that. Now I'm going to work on hooking up more Pi 1 science, enough that 1/2 belt is not even going to be sufficient. So I'm going to make 480 per second, 480 per minute, so more than a 1/2 belt. And Petri dishes seem to be running again, which is great. We'll see if my hot air holds up with even more demand. Also, I need to fix this molten glass line. So yeah, time to turn on the last Pi 1 block, which has been built and sitting there for like 150 hours or so. Okay, and I need a caravan to deliver latex to it, so one of these caravans that were the last to be bred has a job already. Need a little bit more stone voiding here. I need to fix the production of molten metals slightly, but once I do fix it, then yeah, we'll be able to make even more stone from the processed iron being created, and this is not enough voiding for that. Need a couple more miners here, which is great. Keep this fed. It does mean I might need more hot air, but yeah, this recipe is so much more efficient than even the processed iron recipe. So very happy to use it more. All right, time to replace this fuel system with an electric boiler, which just makes, as you might guess, steam from water and electricity, which is really convenient. It can be inefficient in some sense because the power that if you're still relying on steam engines to make your power, and I am in many places, then because the steam engines are only 50% efficient, you can't, it wouldn't be like a perfect loop if you just looped the power production and the steam. You'd be losing a lot of power over time. But because we're going to be moving over to better power systems, in fact, I kind of need to burn more power. I need to burn more power to make more tired augs. I wasn't making quite 900 megawatts bursts, and that's the amount that I need to burn to have all the tired augs I need. So yeah, a little bit more power consumption is good, but with the additional Pi 1 block, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Okay, that is fixed. Now I need to deal with a couple of problems with my animal sample creation, and namely that the bones are backing up and the brains are insufficient. Now, this shouldn't be happening. I do have it ratioed properly so that the bones are the limiting factor. However, when things go out of stability, what happens is the brains flow through, but the bones back up, and we just can't have that. So things were unstable because I didn't have enough solidified sarcoris, and when you kind of depend on things to have a perfect flow like I was, this problem can crop up, and it would eventually rectify itself, but I don't make brains very fast, so it would take a long time to fix itself. So yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of bone voiding to help deal with the problem. I'm also going to throw some brains in from my existing stockpile, which hasn't spoiled yet. Sorry. My existing stockpile, which has not spoiled yet, and that will help fix the issue as well. Also had an issue with biocrud here because an underground was missing. So I need to kickstart this bone production, but after that it'll make keratin, and then the keratin can feed, oh, that needs to be fixed, can feed the atomizers with fuel. Okay, and then I'm just adding a little bit of circuitry to only let the brains flow if they're under a certain amount, or sorry, here it is. Brains flow if the belt is starting to back up or there's some jerky there. Bones also flow if the bones are over a certain amount. That's correct. So yeah, as long as there's bones that are filling up the belt here, that's fine. But when they're backing up all the way to the augs, that is a problem, and we should let them get voided. Okay, I think I've got this working better, although, like I said, I might have to move the solidified Sarcoris production down here to be able to monitor it better. For now, I'm going to monitor this and then see how it goes and do some other tasks. One thing I'm adding here is automatic fish gut voiding. I can have the, fish slaughtering voiding, which includes some fish guts. All I'm really doing is setting it up so that a caravan can deliver parts down here, and then I have a decider combinator here that is, well, let's increase this actually, counting up to 10 seconds or 600 ticks, and it's only letting these inserters function once per that count. So if I put some in, you'll see that these inserters don't start dropping them on like crazy. It'll extract it slowly. Yep, see, once every 10 seconds or so. And therefore, it shouldn't overload this system. And I'm dropping it in at the front just because I've got this lane of belts that just works its way through the system. So this will make sure that it can get voided, but not too fast. And the fish don't produce byproducts too quickly, so it should be okay. Let's see, why is this AUG backed up still? Lard. Probably because I have too many animal samples and not enough solidified Sarcoris. Although all the labs are running now, so at least things are getting back on track. Okay, off to fix a couple more things, and then we'll get on to the actual, like, what I want to build this episode. Missed a power pole in here. That was another thing that I needed to fix. And I think that's it, or at least that's all I can remember off the top of my head. Let's look at this task list. I still need to put in the fish parts of voiding caravan, so I'm going to do that. Okay, now this caravan will pick this stuff up. A lot of it will end up turning to jerky, but that's okay. I'm voiding jerky at that outpost too. So this knocks this item out of my task list. Okay. Thought I did that last episode. Did I just forget to? Nope. I need to go add better voiding of tin over at the tin byproduct caravan outpost because I'm going to be dumping in a lot more tin pretty soon. And this is why I create my task list, because there's always something that I'm forgetful about. Okay, now this is taken care of. Let's look at the rest of my list. Remove hydrogen vet. Okay, I'm not going to do that this time. That's low priority. This was fixed last time. Fix missing miner on the northern coal patch. I got that done. Fix plasmid priority and lack of wood for solidified Sarcoris. Did that. Clear out the hydrogen tax. I'll do that on the way. More copper to molten iron small parts. Did that. Quartz mining maintenance. I've been in the process of doing that the whole time, picking them up, and I might need more quartz mining. I'm not sure. Increased science buffers. Did that. AUG buffer. Like I said, I'm not going to do that. We'll check in and see if I need it. Remove fuel from poor animal samples and electric boilers. Did that. Fix glass line in Pine 1. Did that. Fix the stone voiding at Molten Metal. Did that. Remove the cub chest from Og breeding. Did that. Add caravan for rich clay from manure. Okay. I need to do this one. That should be easy. I've done the biocrud fix at poor animal samples, and I added bone voiding. More power. I actually have enough power, I think, to run this, although I'll be adding more in the future. But I think we're going to say that 240 per minute logistics science is done other than future fixes. So I'll add this caravan and get on to the main thing I wanted to do during this episode. I was just setting up a raw coal line to bring down to these secondary crushers, as I'm going to need, didn't want to do that, as I'm going to need fuel for what I'm building. What I'm building is some meat voiding for the rocks. I decided that one way to spare some caravans is to do some of their job for them with the atomizers voiding the spoilage products from rocks. And there's a couple of reasons I'm doing that, not just because of the roleplay aspect of taking care of the Vrauks. I also think it's going to be UPS positive for me because the caravan voiding is kind of a script-based system. So that saves me a little bit of potential UPS. I also want to get rid of a lot of this wiring. I read that any wired inserter is actually eating UPS, whereas a non-wired inserter that is not doing anything should be just waiting, doing nothing, which is really good for UPS. Factorio is awesome at making sure that if a building is not doing anything, it's kind of asleep. It's not consuming any UPS in most cases. They do this by doing things like having a wait list for a building. So the wait list says, okay, once this building becomes active, then other buildings nearby that need to interact with it can get woken up. So for instance, if this atomizer was busy doing something, it doesn't need any more ingredients. The inserters next to it would be asleep. And then as soon as it does need ingredients, they would wake those inserters to say, okay, you guys can feed me more ingredients. And but until then, you're not consuming any time. That's really useful. However, yeah, if those inserters are awake constantly because they have to interact with the circuit network, that's not so good for me. Okay, the atomizers are all set, or should be. Let me double check. With these all set, now I just have to convert all of my slaughterhouses to an updated design, which is going to be time consuming. If I was really pressed for time, I wouldn't do this whole rigmarole. I just, like add some more caravans and move on to the next thing. But I'm thinking, yeah, I have some time to spare. I have a lot of researches that I need to get to before I feel like I'm going to be happy with leaving Pi 1 Science. Like I really want personal reports and heavy armor for the inventory space, and then there's a few more in here that I'll want. So until then, I think I'm happy to do some tasks that are kind of more optional. Oops. So anyway, I'm going to use this updated blueprint. In fact, I think I might update this a little bit more, and then replace all of these slaughterhouses, including those over there. This is going to be very time consuming, like I said, and I'll be back after a pretty long musical montage, I'd guess. I'm still running low on hot air, so I'm midway through this process of replacing my slaughterhouse setup. And yeah, I'm going to dump out all the meat from the chests that are sitting here. But in the meanwhile, I might take the time to go ahead and fix Pi 1, maybe add a little bit more coke oven gas, since that seems to be the major problem, while all this meat turns into tin for me. So kind of a win-win break there. I also have one more thing that quick thing that I'd like to do, and that's make a new decorative tile. One of the texts that I decided to take, still inside of Pi 1, is a new decorative tile set. It's not at all useful for the map, although it does have a cheaper than refined concrete version of that lets you run real quick, like refined concrete does. But I'm mostly getting it because I was getting a little bit bored of the tiles that I had available. So I thought I might inspire myself to keep doing decoration by, yeah, going ahead and grabbing new tiles. All right, now I'm off to see if I can't fix this problem in time for a timely exit to this episode. I'm not sure I'll be able to, but we'll see. Might need to put another caravan on ash collection duty here. Where's this one? Yeah, he's already gone off to deliver some. No, he's doing a pretty good job. I am going to add more caravan outposts here, so there'll be more ash generated in this system. Okay, hopefully that will add enough hot air to solve my problems. It's also possible that, like, these petri dishes don't make a little bit too much petri dish. Like, this backs up. So this might need to back up. This one's getting all the hot air it needs, and then lower ones will get a little bit more hot air. I guess I could also switch away from using hot air for this iron production recipe. It loses me about 20% of exactly 20% of the plates that I could make that way, but it's another way for me to get more hot air out of what I've got right now. So yeah, I might check in on this once I've seen how the addition there affects things. Yeah, I'm switching these to not use hot air. It does look like I'm not making enough, so we'll see how that plays out over the hands-off period. As long as I get over 400, which I should do, it won't trigger a failure. I'm going to go ahead and reset my failures, so we'll see how it pans out. Okay, I've cleared the meat out of this left side. There's still a lot of stuff to do on this right side of slaughterhouses, but at least I'm halfway done with this, and it'll give me a little bit more time to monitor Pi 1. I can also grab a couple of caravans that were doing the meat dance here and repurpose them, because I still need to set some to clear jerky down here. None of this is spoiling yet, but it will in the next, I guess, 6 hours or so. Okay, now the meat should be flowing into my meat disposal system. I'm trying to avoid making too many meat jokes, but they're just, kind of on the tip of my tongue sometimes. But for now, well, I need to unblock this tin disposal, but then I need to figure out why logistics science is not running at full rate. So I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between collecting up meat and excess tin, although I really should be voiding more tin. I guess some tin is not getting voided because I don't make enough lab instruments. I can turn on some rail production so I can get rid of this tin for now at least. So, yeah, let me go look into logistics science. Okay, yeah, I definitely made some mistakes down there, so I'm going to have to go clean up my mess. Be back after I deal with the fact that I was not properly voiding brains or skin. So, yeah, be back in a bit. Okay, I've got another problem with solidified sarcoris, so I'm going to go ahead and dig into that. But yeah, the Meatpocalypse continues. I'm still dumping a lot of meat and ingredients into this system, and it's backing up because, yeah, I've just taken what is 4 hours worth of spoiling meat and tried to deal with it in an hour or so. I need more lamps, so I'm going to need to produce a little bit more glass right here. I'm going to see if I can fit in a glass furnace to directly feed the lamp assembler. I'll be right back after I've attempted to do that. Let's see, how does this fit? All right, fits like a glove in here. Fantastic. So this should provide me with plenty of glass. Maybe I can even speed this up a little bit more. Yeah. My meat issues are almost sorted out, but I spotted an issue down in logistics science, so I'm going to go take care of that and also do something that I was considering for a little bit, which is to add a couple more labs to the system. I did see that sometimes, for instance, logistics science, I'm still seeing solidified sarcoris spoil. That's not great. And my guess is that it's getting to the end of the belt, and the labs, because they take 90 seconds to produce each recipe, they take an awful long time toward the end of the belt to consume the last of that science. So I'm going to go and see if I can deal with that. Yeah, see, the solidified sarcoris was almost spoiled. So I'm thinking, yeah, that if I have some extra capacity to consume the materials that are coming down here, then I will be able to avoid even more spoilage. Because really, hard mode is it's difficult, but with spoilage added, spoilage is really the thing that is screwing me up, I think, most often. It always introduces both building complexity and also more failure modes than you'd expect. So I look forward to seeing if this is actually going to work, but I'm going to give it a little bit more time. I'm going to finish off that meat situation that I've got going on, and then yeah, I'll have something else to do, I think. Okay, this wraps up the meat portion of the episode. I think I've got this in hand. Oh, God. I didn't mean any of that pun. Okay, I've got all the meat pointed at atomizers or feeding onto belts. This shouldn't block up the existing meat disposal, but a lot of it's going to end up turning into jerky, and I'm okay with that. So, the things I want to do are there's two things. First, I'd like to get the iron oxide tiles. This is a pretty cool looking tile that I researched and want to put down near my railroads, for instance. Second of all, I want to figure out why Pi 1 is not at 4.8. Like, there's got to be a mistake in here somewhere that is causing it to not be quite at the target rate. Oh, crud. Yay. Okay, wait, I see the mistake. Okay. Easy fix. I'll go take care of the biocrud issue, and then see about the tile, and then probably be ending the episode. Also keep cleaning up miners as I see them. Okay, and this is the iron oxide tile. I would love to make the other tiles, but I didn't figure out where I felt like putting them, and we're already running really late. But this tile set is my favorite out of the ones that we've just unlocked. It's got this cool pipe grid pattern on here, so yeah, I really look forward to using this one to make a grungy looking factory in places. Not that my factory isn't grungy enough as it is. And this is why I decided to install 2 of these high-pressure furnaces, because, yeah, I expect to use quite a bit of it. I could even install more here. There's plenty of iron oxide going down the lane, but I think this is going to be enough for now. So, logistics science is looking good. I think Pi 1 is going to be at 4.8. Let's go back to the 1-minute timer, see what it looks like. Yeah, close enough. Pretty good. Logistic science is bouncing around everywhere, which is frustrating, but also kind of, yeah, that's what happens when you've got 90-second crafts and lots of spoilage and a caravan that's running around delivering things. Hopefully things will go okay. If not, well, another failure is not going to be the end of the world for me, even if it's annoying. I got so used to not having those failures, and now I'm like, 2 failures in a row? That would suck. But for now, I think we're going to go into hands-on mode. Hope that I can survive the 4 hours plus of hands-off time that I've got coming to me. Let me reset that science alert, because, yeah, it should not be blinking at me. Hopefully. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I will see you guys next time.